Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Louis Sports Network. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday evening, heading into Friday morning. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure those post notifications are turned on, make sure you're sharing on your social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. Without you guys, there is no me. Much love and respect to everybody, man. Salute to y'all, man. Definitely appreciate y'all, man, for always taking the time of liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Definitely appreciate y'all. Second straight video in the building, and here is the video. So, we know that the LeBron Stephen A stuff is picking up a lot of steam from in the beginning where LeBron decided to confront Stephen A with his cold-calculated move, aka the Lion King, LeBron James, where he made sure to have a camera present and confront Stephen A about supposedly talking about his son, right? Well, Stephen A decided to clap back because he was apparently blindsided by the comments that LeBron made to him talking about his kid, when in reality, this is all about LeBron James. Well, something interesting LeBron decided to do when the Lakers were playing the Pacers on Wednesday. And that's because the Pat McAfee show goes right after First Take. He decided to do he decided to be on the Pat McAfee show with Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee went along with LeBron asking him the softball questions. And LeBron did mention about his career, and I'm going to make a separate video on the whole interview, and I'm going to pretty much be reacting to it, and you guys will pretty much watch. I'll probably do it in 2 segments so that it's not a whole long hour. Excuse me, that's what I'll do. But it doesn't change the fact that LeBron James once again made sure to be passive aggressive in talking about himself. But he did something unexpectedly. I expected the Stephen A stuff, but I did not expect him to do what he did to a longtime supporter who's been following him since 1999, who now works for ESPN, Brian Windhorst. And a lot of people have reacted, and they think that LeBron was out of bounds for reacting the way he did and saying what he said about Brian Windhorst out there for no reason, just taking a shot at him. But here's what I believe, and this is my opinion. Brian Windhorst deserves no sympathy, and I'm going to tell you why. You're like, but Louis, LeBron just decided to just take a shot out of nowhere to where one of his longtime supporters literally has had LeBron's back from the beginning. Here's why I don't care that Brian Windhorst got disrespected by LeBron. You want to know why? It was just 3 seasons ago. You remember by a fella by the name of Russell Westbrook, who LeBron and AD recruited because they felt that they controlled Kevin Durant and they felt that they could make things work with Russell so that he could say he carried Russ to an NBA championship, right? Do you remember when Russ was getting eviscerated by Laker fans, by NBA fans, and by the media for his poor play when the Lakers failed to make the play-in? Do y'all remember that? The very next year, Russ was still playing bad. He had his moments where he was playing better, but he was getting blamed for absolutely everything. What did Brian Windhorst say about Russell Westbrook? And he wasn't the only one who said this. Several members of the cult media were saying this about Russell Westbrook. And I quote, and I could be wrong about this, so you guys can correct me. My subscribers, you guys can correct me. But he said along the lines of, Russ is like a vampire. He's more like Dracula. He just sucks the energy out of a basketball team. He's sucking the energy out of the Lakers. And I remember Brian Windhorst giggling and laughing when that comment was made about Russell Westbrook. Because LeBron told Pat McAfee that he's all about not only protecting his household, but he's about protecting the players. But Russell Westbrook got dehumanized so bad that LeBron fanboys went to the point of oh, but it's the truth. Russell Westbrook was just playing bad. It was a bad fit from the beginning, and a lot of people were saying it. But you fanboys just went along with LeBron because you think he has the highest basketball IQ and that everything that he says is just nothing but pure gospel when it's all BS. That's why I call him the Lion King. So he decided to call Brian Windhorst weird and claiming that he had that he's his best friend. And when I'm thinking to myself, but instead of me breaking it down much further, we're going to take a listen to what LeBron had to say about his good friend, or as he says, he don't know Windhorst like that and he thought it was his best friend, that he's weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to play and then we're going to react to it right here. So take a listen to what.
I feel like, in order for, myself to make a name for myself, obviously I knew the play was going to take care of itself because I knew how much I committed to it, but I also I wanted to handle the responsibility, of showing a face of the league in the sense of like a modern citizen, being a role model. It was, we have guys who, didn't want to be a role model to the sport, or didn't want to.
You see what LeBron did before I get to what he said about Brian Windhorst? He basically took a shot at Charles Barkley. So once again, this is LeBron's passive-aggressive game. He picks and chooses where to go because he's trying to control the narrative. So he decides to be passive-aggressive and decides to take a shot at Charles Barkley. LeBron has not liked Charles Barkley from when Charles called him out for not wanting to compete and only wanting to play with just the best players. This was back in 2017, and mind you, the Cavaliers are the defending champions that season. And they ultimately ended up facing Golden State, and they lost in 5 games. And I remember the Cavaliers were doing everything they could to help support LeBron in getting pieces. Because remember, LeBron complained that the Cavaliers were too top-heavy and that they needed a playmaker. So he had no belief in Kyrie Irving, that Kyrie Irving could be a playmaker. But he wants to say how he protects his players. Okay.
To be a role model to the game, to not only play the game that I love, but also I wanted.
You don't love the game, LeBron. You love the fame. You don't love the game. You love the fame. You want the validation. You can clearly see you have emotional security damage issues. Ain't no way you telling me that that pressure is nothing to you. What did Judah call you? Looking like the damn Unabomber? So, and you're still looking like that with your damn hat.
Fans to follow me. I wanted people to follow my journey. And
no, man, what you want fans to do is you want them to all kiss your behind because you really believe in this thing that you are a king. You really believe that you are a king. In your mind, in your delusional mind. You don't live in reality, LeBron James. You live in a bubble. Just like that bubble title that you won back in 2020. It's not reality. You really believe in the things that you say, even though you're told to say it. And the fact that you have paid people in the media propagandizing your nonsense, you don't have to really say much. Like I said before, and I'm always going to keep saying it, your fans have made more first team, all defensive teams than you have in your career because they come up with every single excuse and move the goalposts when it comes to you, LeBron James. Let's keep playing the tape.
What came out of that was me kind of being, I guess, people say the face of the league.
Yeah, the Sprite commercials.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I never went out to.
You said that you never came out to want to claim to be the face of the league. And I remember what LeBron was saying when he was talking about that. Oh, if Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he was in the 70s, he could score 250 points. LeBron James has been talking about himself the entire interview. He's been using other players as props. He called out Charles Barkley in terms of the role model. Do y'all remember the commercial that LeBron did when he first went to Miami talking about, I'm not a role model? Yeah, sorry, Chuck. So that he took a shot at Barkley with that because he doesn't like Charles when Charles called him out. He took a shot at, obviously, Stephen A. Smith, calling him Taylor Swift. He's on a Taylor Swift tour with the whole son. But you used your son as a prop because you don't like the fact that Stephen A. doesn't claim you as the GOAT, LeBron James. You want a GOAT status, but you don't want to put in the work to be the GOAT. This whole, LeBron has played the most minutes of all time. The man load manages on the basketball court. It's most of the time 4-on-5 on the defensive end because he's complaining about a call that he didn't get. LeBron James is a fake-ass leader. He shows zero accountability, showing plausible deniability, and he doesn't want to take the responsibility. He's always pointing at somebody. But again, let's continue.
To be like, I want to be the face of the league. Like, I seen
there it goes.
Too. Like I seen Brian Windhorst on one of these shows not too long ago.
He didn't even announce Brian Windhorst's name right. He said Brian Windhorst. Hurst. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Like, he clearly just disrespected you. And the funny thing is, Brian Windhorst looks so hurt. He just was not going to play that game in terms of going back and forth with LeBron. He just tried to be politically correct and decided to take the high road. But you could see in his face as he was talking, and even when Stephen A. and Kendrick Perkins were talking, he was really hurt by the comments that LeBron made. And this is a guy who has supported LeBron since 1999 from the time he knew him, because LeBron literally said himself, if anybody knows me in and out, it's Brian Windhorst. But let's continue to hear what LeBron says.
You guys played together in high school. Yeah, this guy was like, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird. But
wait.
That's not real. Yeah, he was our enforcer, huh? Knew it. He went on his show.
You see what's really messed up about it? Then they put a picture of Wendy's head on the Irish team that LeBron James played for in high school. And says, oh yeah, he's our enforcer, man. It's just weird, man, claiming that he's my best friend. Do y'all remember when LeBron was not playing on Christmas one time and he got injured? He was complaining about where's Wojnarowski in his tweet. Where's Wojnarowski? Where's Dave McMenamin? Where's Brian Windhorst? Where are my guys? They're not talking about me. Where are my guys at? Where are my guys at? You see why this interview just proves how much of a hypocrite LeBron James is. He's a hypocrite. And he disrespected Brian Windhorst by putting a picture of him with his team. Calls him weird, acting like if they're best friends, then he does that. I'm no fan of Brian Windhorst, but that was pretty messed up on LeBron James' part. It was messed up. But I'm going to say it again. I don't feel sorry for Brian Windhorst, and you know why? Because of what he said about Russell Westbrook. All of a sudden, Brian Windhorst, you reap what you sow. You sold your soul to cover LeBron as long as you have. LeBron believes in his narcissism and he has such a huge ego. His ego is bigger than his damn zip code. And look at him now. He has decided to turn on you. After 26 years of supporting this man, Brian Windhorst, LeBron James has turned his back on you. And yet he finds a way to, and LeBron finds a way to connect himself to Kevin Durant too, because now season 2 of Mind the Game podcast is going to have none other than Steve Nash, who just got fired from the Nets a couple of seasons ago when he was coaching Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. So that means, LeBron, do you have any confidence in JJ Redick, or are you basically saying we're not going to have JJ Redick do Mind the Game podcast so that it doesn't make it seem like if there's collusion? Because that's how JJ got this job with no head coaching experience, and he was in a podcast with LeBron James. And notice that Kendrick Perkins had came out and was talking about, guys like Channing Frye, and he was talking about J.R. Smith, and he was talking about Richard Jefferson in terms of, the supporting LeBron James. But Kendrick Perkins, what you need to realize is that LeBron has never, ever, 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 ever cared about you guys. LeBron uses you for his own benefit. And I said that when it comes to his whole Klutch Sports agency. All of these NBA players that they signed, all of these young guys, the bottom line is the reason that the LeColt fan base is so brainwashed is because a lot of these guys resonate with LeBron because of his upbringing. This idea that he's an inner city kid from Akron. A lot of guys grew up in the ghetto. When you hear that kind of story, it's like I can connect with that. I can't connect with Kobe. You know why I can't connect with Kobe? Because his dad took Kobe and his family to Italy from the time that Kobe was 4 years old. So I can't connect with Kobe like that. I connect with Kobe on the basketball court because of what he meant to my childhood, but I can't connect with him in terms of his career, in terms of his life. Because his life really started in Italy. He was born in Philly, but he went to Italy when he was about 3 or 4 years old and came back when he was 13. It was different. And then Kobe struggled to fit in and had a real hard time adjusting. It took him some time. And then you look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was before I was born. He was born in 63. And Jordan grew up with a father and he grew up in a stable household. So I can't compare to Michael Jordan. I can't compare to Kobe. I grew up in the hood. So I'm actually more comparable to LeBron. But my thing is, I'm not as stupid as some of these cats are when it comes to this GOAT status. I wish there was no such thing as the GOAT. But the media is doing this because of the declining in NBA ratings. LeBron's lying to himself, claiming that he didn't want to be. And look, LeBron even said, he's upset that old heads have criticized today's NBA, basically saying we're in a passive aggressive way. Oh, they're talking about me. They're criticizing me because I'm the face of the league. He's like, I didn't ask the face of the league. Why would any one of these players be the face of the league when they're constantly getting disrespected by these old heads? Y'all keep calling the 90s players plumbers. I mean, but LeBron lost to some plumbers in the NBA Finals, but we're not going to talk about that, right? But let's keep going and let's listen to this.
And say, don't let LeBron fool you. Like, he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact.
Right.
He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, motherfucker, I didn't. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the hood. The next day, I signed that contract. And ultimately, my whole thing is like, what do I want to wear off the court? It's like
But you still wear Jordans. Your family wears Jordans too. I mean, there's other things that LeBron has worn for sure, but you see what LeBron keeps doing though? For somebody who is a billionaire, he keeps acting like this oppressed victim, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the brainwashing that he's done to the LeColt fan base. He's got you thinking that, so yeah, he may be from the hood, but it's like, you should be teaching guys that there's a possibility that you can make it and you can be successful in life. But you don't care about your fans neither, LeBron. You care about yourself. You always have and you always will. You use your son as a prop. You use Anthony Davis as a prop. You use D Wade as a prop. You use a lot of people. And now you're reaping what you sow. See, I'm going to go full breakdown of the Stephen A. LeBron beef later on when the Pat McAfee show, when I do the full video. But for right now, let's just take a listen to finish, and now I'm going to finish all my comments.
I want to wear fucking Nikes. Like, I want to wear Jordans. I want to wear pennies. I want to wear Bo Jacksons. I want to wear Air Maxes. I want to wear, so.
You see how he says how he wants to wear all these shoes? That's the same thing that he was talking about one time when he was interviewed about wanting to play with all the best players. I want to play with Luka. I want to play with Dame. I want to play with Giannis. I want to play with KD. I want to play with Steph. He's doing the same thing with the Nike sneakers as he's doing with the NBA players. LeBron James is inauthentic and is a jack of all trades. Good at many things, but not great at really any of them. And if he's really great at something, it's the most missed shots. And he's the king of all turnovers, as I call him. He is nothing but a lying-ass, capping-ass, lying king.
course.
Like, like, what are we talking about? So, like, I knew there was a responsibility for sure. Like, listen, man, during the ball drop, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was just.
What are you saying? Don't you see? Maybe with the Spurs.
Basically, is LeBron saying right there that the league is rigged by you saying that, though? And this is the stupid thing about Bron. It's like he tells on himself and he is just not self-aware. I was a big LeBron fan when he first came into the NBA, but my tunes have changed ever since he left to Miami. And even when he started winning, I said maybe I might start liking him again because he has a better understanding of the game of basketball. But no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That man is too into himself to understand what he's doing. And I'm just saying, you better be careful with the can of worms that you're opening, LeBron, going at the media like this, because now Stephen A has now started to just unleash and start opening the gloves off. As much as I can't stand Stephen A snitch, I think him and LeBron are both clowns. Both of them. Stephen A is a huge clown, but LeBron is the biggest clown going right now. But Brian Windhorst, now you know how it feels to be disrespected because you said all those things about Russ and LeBron ends up turning on you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Louis with another one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about what LeBron said about Brian Windhorst and a couple of other guys that he's called out. Anyway, here we go. Bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you guys for watching.